we're back again. It's September. Back to school, we hope. Thank you for tuning in. We're back again. New episodes, new looks, a lot of changes. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share. We do really appreciate it. We appreciate those who have done this. Have liked, subscribe, and share. And don't forget, you could still comment below. Freely comment below there. Tell me what your feelings are on a lot of these stories that we put out daily and some of our special episodes that we will be doing. You'll be seeing those coming very soon. So, as we said on the special on Sunday, back on the 5th, we were going to be doing some late to the show stuff, as they say, some stuff that came up while we were away. A lot hit, and we were going to take the important stuff that was going on and bring that out. One of the major things, and we've been hearing this, is the incident with the company Kadokawa, who does the mangas and some really great shows like Konosuba, Sergeant Frog, many others. Basically, the president, if you don't recall, president of the company was sort of bending the knee, saying, we might have to edit some stuff if we wanted to get it on Apple or Android. I mean, where are you on Apple and Android with your manga stuff on there? Why do you need to bend the knee to Apple and Android? Of course, he apologized for that, took a hit in his pocket. And this is what I want to see from companies. I want to see them take the CEO and basically, tell them this is not what the company is. And now, he was in hot water, and they took a percentage, a good chunk of his payroll out of his pocket. But now afterwards we heard, and this is back on the 7th, that Kadokawa has had it, and they're going to be basically taking back the English dubs and translations of their product. They're starting with the mangas. They will be publishing their own English translations of their big mangas on there. And that is a very good thing because, here's the situation. You have companies here in the West that are sitting there saying that they need to make the changes that years ago. Let's put it this way. Let's backtrack years ago. They told us years ago here, those of us who started watching anime, started mangas and stuff like that, that we would never understand what the Japanese are writing or what their styles are, or what their stories are, because we don't understand the culture. That's right, folks. They said we don't understand the culture. Yeah, of course, we don't know all the ins and outs, but it's a good story. We enjoy it. They think we're all stupid, and I've been at it in anime watcher since the late 70s. I got my anime fix, and this is long before the internet. I watched mine on here in New York City, Spanish network channel 47 WJNU, who shared a slot, and this is before infomercials. They used to sell time to other networks. They sold their time to Nippon Television. And I've mentioned this before. Nippon brought their own programming. They brought anime. I used to watch Galaxy Express 39. I used to watch Ikusan, which were two great animes back in the day. And if you didn't catch my video talking about Galaxy Express 39, people have forgotten about it. They remember Captain Harlock because Captain Harlock is kept fresh in the minds. It's a great series. We've seen updates of it, 3D animation works of it. We've seen, Captain Harlock brought on. But Captain Harlock is a character part of the Galaxy 39 group. And as the years went on, as I was growing up, I got to see many other things, many other animes, Cyborg 009, the early days of Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball. Then Dragon Ball Z came in. Toonami came around and started bringing all these others, the Macross and Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, many other animes throughout the years. And they've always kept saying, well, we have to control the translation because you're not going to understand it. And we've always yelled, no, we want to see it the way it's supposed to be. And most of us, we went for a Japanese translation. We went for the Japanese translation that was done by a fun subs, that was done underground. Because basically, like I said, before internet, we either got it on Nippon Television. The other part of it was the underground. We went to Chinatown and bought VHSs at the time, and then when the DVD came in, then we bought them on DVD. And they were well done. This was not someone who basically, some big company that's throwing in their 2 cents on there. This was somebody that did an actual translation and good at it. May have not been perfect, but basically it handled us for now. And then we hear in the present day, we hear all the things, when Seven Seas got caught on theirs, the reasoning, people like ANN, the part of the media, tried to hide behind the things or try to give excuses for companies like Seven Seas with their censorship and saying it's basically, it was to sell more books. We wanted to make sure that it would sell. And this was part of some of the things that they kept saying on there, that basically nobody would buy them if we didn't make these changes. It's total bullshit. Look at Demon Slayer. Look at how much have they sold. Tokyo Revengers, how much they sold. Look at all these top anime right now, currently right now, the top 20. The new one hasn't come out yet, but the top 20 have been in the listings. There are no Marvel, there's no DC, it's mostly manga. Manga has top-lined everything right now at the moment. At this time period, at the time of this recording, Barnes & Noble and most of the other booksellers are sold out of Demon Slayer, of Chainsaw Man, and many others, including the primary issues 1 through 4 or 1 through 5, and the last issues. Attack on Titan is another one. The last issues of Attack on Titan has sold out. That should tell you how popular this is. People are hankering for new, good stories. And Japan has brought that to the U.S. We don't need another 4Kids incident of censorship again. If you're not familiar with 4Kids, 4Kids was a company that was bringing out animation and anime to kids on television. What they did was a lot of the animes was censored. Goes back to the Yu-Gi-Oh incident, where basically they erased the guns out of the hands of the bad guys, and all you saw was them pointing. And I was like, why is it so weird pointing? And many other things that were basically censored because they said, no, it's not going to look good. You can't censor these things. These were created for a reason. And, in this day and age, they're trying to soften the villain. And I'm really upset with that. And how they, what they did with, a perfect example, what they did with Thanos. Basically they softened Thanos, especially in the What If. They really softened Thanos in the What If episode on Disney Plus. But in Endgame, Thanos, where was Death? Let's put it in perspective. Death was missing. He was in love with Death. He would do anything for Death, and that was the main objective for him. He was in for the praise of Death and the destruction that he did in the comic book series. Go back and look at some of the old animations of them. The Silver Surfer series. Thanos is in that series on there. Look at how he acts. He is a villain. It's the same thing what they did with Apocalypse. This is why we haven't. I have truly know they're going to mess up Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is really dark and evil. Doc Ock, they messed up. I'm not talking about the new Spider-Man, which that's on a separate story in itself. But if you look back at the original when Alfred Molina played them, that was not Doc Ock. What they done with basically Venom. Venom was a villain. People don't realize the Venom, but they made him a little. Even though the movie, I'd say the movie wasn't a bad movie, but they kind of softened Venom. They softened up because he was a bad guy at first. Then they made him into an anti-hero. And we get tired of this. And they're trying to do the same thing with anime and mangas. And Japan itself is tired of this. They're starting to pull back. We already know Sony and Crunchyroll, that's another story in itself. Why was that approved? Why did it not go through the court system on that? Because basically that in itself violates some of the rules and laws in the business world here in the United States. They've become a monopoly. We've gone through many monopolies in history. We could tell back all the way to the Ma Bell days and how fast they got separated. And, AT&T is one company and then many others. This is why we have AT&T and we have Verizon and we have all these other companies. And this is the reason why. We have to have competition. Competition is very good for the economy because basically one person will price one thing and give it to you at a certain price, and another company will give it maybe at a better price, or the product may be more superior than the other one. That is why we have this. In Japan, there are many, they have a business world there. They have business thoughts. We may not agree on some of the things that they do in that business world, but the one thing is that they do have competition between each other, large competition. You see how much manga, how much anime has been coming out in the last 2 years, and what is 2022 going to become? That's going to become even bigger. And I'm putting it on this date, September. Last year I said the same thing. 2021 was going to be big, and it has been. 2022 is going to be even bigger. The amount of anime and manga that is being produced right now, yes, we're getting some delays on it, but still, those will be coming out. And Japan is now trying to get the reins back and control how these things are translated, the dubs, the translations of the light novels, the mangas, the subtitles, make sure that it's proper. When you sit there and you're an American company like Seven Seas, and you put out a product and you're edited and censored, and when the fans online calls you out, that should tell you how much of a fan that they are. Stop screwing around with it. Those little amount of people, those 1%ers out there, they are not your customers. Those of you that says, oh, it's child pornography, it's racism, it's this, that, and the other thing. They throw words at you, throw white supremacy, and all these words that they're throwing, these word jumbles that they throw at you. Stop being afraid of these words. Do what is right. Stop hiring the activists. Hire people. There are tons of people out there that will gladly work for these Western firms and translate these things properly. Why do you think the comic book industry is dead as it is? That new independent comic book industry is growing here in the West. You see all these small companies, Alterna, No Caps, all these others that are growing here in the West, making money, while DC and Marvel are losing money. You've seen the comic books. You've seen that freaking I'm Not Starfire comic. they touted that I'm not Starfire for young teens, but yet the language is like an adult. They said, "Oh, we can't sexualize children," but yet you have LGBTQ situations in these comics, in these shows. Who is sexualizing who? It is those who are saying that Japan is sexualizing children, but meanwhile, it's actually the ones who are criticizing it that are sexualizing our children. The kids are smarter than that. Most of these young kids are smarter than that. They know what they watch. They like the Sailor Moon. They like the Demon Slayer. I don't recommend Demon Slayer for small kids, but I've heard some small kids know Demon Slayer very well. That should tell you alone what is going on in this world. If the young kids know the series and all that. Here's the one major thing. Manga and anime, as Chuck Dixon said, there is something for everybody. Do you understand? There's something for everyone. Whether you love sports, whether you like comedies, horrors. Hey, if you like a little bit of the, as they say, hentai type situations, there's some for you. Or something in the LGBTQ situation, there are those out there as well. And I haven't forgotten you transgenders out there, because they are transgender characters in these series. Touting back the series Vandred. If you haven't seen Vandred, it's about a world where men and women live on separate worlds. And they're at war with each other. And of course, in the world of women, there was one particular character who you thought she was a she, but she was a male, surgically altered as a spy. The looks of a woman, but actually is a man. Man's voice, uses a sort of a voice changer. She had a necklace around that basically changed the voice. If you haven't seen that episode, it's toward the end of the series. But there are many others. People don't realize these things. It's that there are those politicals, activists, that says, "Oh no, it's this way, it's this way. No, it's this way. This sexualization." It's stories. Some stories are made for kids. Some stories are made for teens. Some stories are made for adults. Not because, and see, here's the misconception. Because when it's a cartoon, animation, or anime, it's not always meant for children. Look back at the Ralph Bakshi stuff. Heavy Traffic, Fritz the Cat. Of course, one of the best animations out there, Heavy Metal, Fire and Ice. You had some great stuff out there, but it's made for adults. You can have stuff made for adults, and you can have stuff made for kids. It's a less expensive way of creating a production without going to the whole big Hollywood thing and explosions and spend millions of dollars. This is a great way of storytelling. But see, there are those here in the world that are just like, oh, why are they doing this? It's for kids. No. They're mistaken. And they have to be told this day in, day out. Go into the Spanish world, South America, Spain. They love their anime and manga. They have been for years, and they don't get a major problem. Every once in a while, you might hear something of the nature to the point where in one country they might say, well, like we had that soccer one when the guy slapped the girl, but he was upset. It was not that he was beating the crap out of the girl. He was upset because he told her a secret, and she ended up telling other people. And he was upset about that. Should he have slapped her? No, not really. But that's part of the story. If you ever seen a Spanish soap opera, one of the major things is when something comes across, the slap is the big thing people wait for.
me da.
Por tu capricho, suéltame. Cantaletitas por el vacío. Para que la colonia me dejara en paz.
The slap. You know, watch a Spanish soap opera. Count how many slaps. Do a drinking game of the slaps in a soap opera episode. You know, that's some of the fun parts. You might get really drunk because sometimes there's a lot of slapping. So Kadokawa, it is the beginning of the changeover for this industry, and we hope it increases. Toho, Toei, and all the rest, because you're already seeing, here's the other half of it, Toho, Toei, and a lot of other companies are already bringing over anime to this country via YouTube on their own channels. So Funimations, you better be thinking where you're going at this point, especially you, Sony, who owns Funimations and Crunchyroll, because you might end up have to pay more money for your product because these companies won't sell them to you like that anymore. So we've reached this part of the video where we thank you very much. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share. Also, be sure to check out our new merch store. We got a new merch store up and running, some great shirts. It's the TV show shirts and also some other shirts of ramen and other things that we put up on there that you might like as well. So do check out that store. So thank you again for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.